On our Full View Twitter account, a lot of you continue to comment on it. And the question is, how many of you can think back on days that could have been your end, drinking and driving? So perhaps the campaign has been effective for some of you, because I see there has been a change of sentiment from some of you. But now on to other news from the region. The Democratic Republic of Congo opposition candidate Martin Fayulu has filed a complaint against the presidential election results at the country's constitutional court in Kinshasa. Fayulu lost the election to Felix Tshisekedi of the Union for Democracy and Social Progress. Earlier today, police dispersed Fayulu's supporters outside the court building while he was filing his complaint inside. He wants a recount of the presidential votes. The court has 8 days to rule on the complaint. Fayulu's opposition coalition, Lamuka, claims to have won the election by a landslide with over 60% of the vote. Earlier, we did speak to our correspondent in Kinshasa, Chris Onkamringa, earlier on the latest post-election developments in the DRC.
One of the leading candidates, Martin Fayulu, addressed his supporters today. Thousands of people showed up, and he said he will not accept the declaration by the Electoral Commission saying that Mr. Felix Tshisekedi is the winner of the election. He says those results are fake, going by the Catholic observers who have different results. And so tomorrow he's going to go to court, the constitutional court here in Kinshasa, to file a petition challenging the outcome of the election.
We understand that there are countries that are supporting this contestation of these results. Last I heard, it was France that had joined the fray. Are there those who are openly coming out and calling for a recount?
Well, now, the calling of a recount will all be determined by the court. The court is going to look at the evidence that Mr. Fayulu presents, and based on that, determine whether he has a case or the Electoral Commission was right that Mr. Felix Tshisekedi was won. Now, after that is when we're going to know the outcome of this thing. The other parties, like the observers and other, diplomats who have been talking about it, really don't count in this situation.
Now, there are those, Chris, who had been speculating on whether or not it's possible that Mr. Tshisekedi's party and former President Joseph Kabila's party have been colluding, or at least they've endorsed him to a point that he has won these elections. What is the feeling from the electorate in the DRC?
Well, like you said, there's been a lot of speculation ever since the announcement was made. What you said is true. There are some people who are saying that President Kabila and Felix Tshisekedi colluded. They decided to have a kind of a power-sharing agreement because Mr. Fayulu is backed by Moise Katumbi, the former governor of Katanga province, a very wealthy man, and Jean-Pierre Bemba. Now, those two individuals are regarded as, they fell out with President Kabila. They're not in good terms at all. And so the word around the streets in Kinshasa is that the president doesn't want to get in power because of those two individuals. Of course, that is a rumor. We have not confirmed it. But ever since the Electoral Commission announced it, some people in the opposition are saying, hey, it seems to be, proving that there was something fishy about this whole announcement of Tshisekedi. So we are just now waiting for the court to give its final verdict about this case, and then we will know whether indeed Felix won fair and square, or there was something that was unfair about it.
Chris, final question. Are there any signs of tension which may lead to violence? And are there any measures in place to ensure that that does not occur?
Yes, there have been cases of violence. Yesterday, there were 7 people who were reported dead in the northern part of DRC, an area known as Kikwit. Supporters of Mr. Fayulu protested. after hearing about Felix Tsikedi's victory, and they were shot at by the police and died. Now, this afternoon, Mr. Fayulu held a rally, addressed thousands of his supporters to tell them that we're rejecting that decision by the Electoral Commission, and the police came and fired tear gas to disperse people. And so reports of violence are true, and it's likely to continue in the days ahead, because Mr. Fayulu told his supporters to turn up in very large numbers. Now, when that normally happens, people disrupt traffic, the flow of traffic, and some of them can turn violent. And the police normally in the DRC are known to crack down very hard on any kind of protest. They normally do not allow the opposition to have protests. So violence is indeed a reality. Although it hasn't been very, very massive, it hasn't been widespread, but there have been pockets of violence around here.
Have any concerns at all been expressed by the AU or the observers that were overseeing these elections?
Well, the AU I haven't heard any word from them, although some important members of the AU, like France and Belgium, have already cast doubt the elections. They're saying it appears the announcement was not in line with what the observers witnessed. And so these are important members of the EU. The EU supports the DRC a lot in areas of good governance, democracy, health, and also the UN peacekeeping mission, MONUSCO. They contribute a lot of money to ensure that this happens. But the DRC government saw this coming. And actually, right at the outset, the DRC government said it does not want to get any financial assistance from any foreign government, because it wanted to manage the elections on its own so that there's no interference by anyone.
That's all from the Full View this evening. Thanks so much for watching. The conversation, of course, continues on Twitter at FullViewSABC.
Of course, you can go to SABC News.